Welcome back, everyone. We're going to do another edit my photo. This was submitted to me by someone that I know, but I'm going to keep it anonymous. And I just wanted to walk you through what I would do with this image coming off of my cell phone. You can take some really great photos with your cell phone. It's all about composition. So anyway, let's get started. I've already brought it into the develop module, and I'm going to go through some of the basics. You can actually enable profile corrections on an iPhone. It will recognize an iPhone, and I always remove chromatic aberration. So lens corrections is something that I do on every single photo that I bring in. So I actually have it as an automatic preset for when I download images into Lightroom. All right, let's go to the basics here. And this is a really cool photo, and I want to concentrate more on the structure in the middle and kind of de-emphasize the background. So whenever I edit images, I try to come up with at least a basic game plan. So it's like, okay, what's my favorite thing about this image that I want to emphasize, and what is my least favorite thing that I want to try and either just crop it out if it's possible or de-emphasize it in some way. So I want this image to appear a little bit more three-dimensional. So I'm going to emphasize the foreground and de-emphasize the background. But first thing I'm going to do is do just a few global adjustments. And so I'm going to add a little bit of texture globally, not too much, because I really want to take away texture in the background. I'm going to add some vibrance, but if I go too far, you can see cyan tends to get a little wonky there. So I'm going to concentrate on my colors a little bit more individually. I'm going to bring down my highlights. There are just a couple of them that are blown there, and my whites. And I'm actually going to bring down my blacks to add some contrast. You can see how that just adds contrast when you do that. And that's just a matter of taste. I might warm this up a little bit. Actually, maybe not. Doesn't hurt to try. All right. And I think I'm done with just my global adjustments. What I really want to do is concentrate on separating the foreground and background. So I'm going to do that with a brush. So I added a brush, and I'm going to come in here. It's going to be a little bright to begin with. The exposure setting is set to, I think, +1 or +2 or something ridiculous like that. So it always looks weird when I first start painting. Okay, but double click on that and it will return to normal. So what I want to do is I want to darken the background a little bit, not too much. Still need to know that it's there. And I want to soften it. So I'm going to take away some of the texture, and I'm going to take away some of the clarity. And let's see what happens with, yeah. See, dehaze, it's not good. Double click on that and make it go back to normal. And I'm actually going to take away some of the sharpness, just a little bit. Let's bring down those shadows too to make it a little bit darker. And I'm going to click done. So not too long. So where have we started? We started here and now we're there. See how there's just a little bit more separation between the structure in the foreground and that background. So now I'm going to come down to the hue, saturation, and luminance. And I'm going to target let's target yellow. And I like to see where my yellows are. So I'm just going to crank the saturation all the way up and all the way down. And so I can see exactly where those colors are. So I'm going to boost them a little bit. What about orange? Have we got orange? Yeah, we got some orange in here. I'd like to bring out a little bit more of that orange. Just going to saturate that a little bit. Not too much. Don't go crazy. And you can even brighten that as well. Do I want it brighter? No. See, if I brighten it too much, it makes it almost disappear. So maybe a little bit darker on the orange. And how about our blues? What do we have for blue? It is right there. And so I'm going to saturate my blue a little bit and maybe bring out a little bit more of this aqua. I love that pretty green. See, if I crank it all the way, you can see it all in here. Now that's a little bit over saturated. I don't want to go 100%. And I don't normally push colors quite this much. 60%, 50%, that's a lot for me. But I think this particular image kind of calls for it, actually. So let's do a before and after. You know, it's just a better photo. It's a little bit more striking. The colors are a little bit more bold. There's more contrast, and there's a little bit more separation between my foreground and my background. And I think, honestly, that's all this image really needs. We don't need to jump into Photoshop today and do anything really complicated, so that's it. Thank you for submitting your image. Just leave a comment down below if you are interested in submitting yours as well. I would put a link here to my Google Drive to just go ahead and load up photos if you wanted to, but I don't want to do that in public, so we will just keep that for the folks who are actually serious about it. So anyway, hope you all have a good day, and I'll see you soon.